Have you ever wondered why some words seem to melt anger while others stoke the flames? We navigate complex human emotions every day, sometimes feeling lost, sometimes feeling like we hold all the cards. The truth is, behind every interaction, there lies a tapestry of psychological tricks, intriguing patterns we often overlook. Each of us carries within ourselves an array of experiences shaped by our perspectives, desires, and fears. Imagine being invited to a large gathering filled with strangers. You stand on the outskirts, scanning the room, your heart racing with uncertainty. Suddenly, a friendly face approaches you, offering a warm smile and a welcoming gesture. That one simple action transforms the entire atmosphere. Voices soften, laughter becomes infectious, and you find yourself enveloped in camaraderie. Why does a single smile hold such power? Why does genuine warmth feel like an invisible thread connecting people? Life constantly presents us with a maze of social dynamics, and within this intricate web, we can leverage psychological tricks to create connections, influence decisions, and enhance our experiences. Ready to dive deeper? Let's explore 10 psychological tricks that resonate universally, weaving through our shared humanity. 1. The power of naming emotions. Let's step into a moment of tension again. Picture a child throwing a tantrum in a public place. The mother frets, the child screams. In that moment, what if she knelt down, looked into the child's eyes, and gently said, "I see you're really upset right now." By naming the emotion, she acknowledges the turmoil instead of dismissing it. This strategy isn't just effective with children, it resonates with everyone. When we label our feelings, something profound occurs within us. We regain control. It's as if we pull emotions out of the chaos of our mind and place them on the table, showcasing them for what they are. We stop being overwhelmed, and instead, we become observers of our own experience. In relationships, offering the same emotional recognition can bridge a chasm, fostering connection and understanding. 2. The foot in the door technique. Imagine a friend asks for a small favor. Can you help them move a single box? It seems harmless. But then, a week later, they request to borrow your car for a few days. Surprisingly, you agree. The subtle power of this request lies in its size. This is the essence of the foot in the door technique, a classic move in the world of persuasion. When we agree to a small request, we pave the way for larger requests later on. It's a psychological dance where compliance breeds more compliance. Reflect on the last time you agreed to something little that escalated into something big. It reveals an intriguing aspect of human psychology, our desire for consistency. Once we've committed to a smaller idea, we often feel inclined to remain consistent with our previous behavior. 3. The illusion of choice. Now, consider a crowded marketplace where stall owners shout out their wares. Each haggles for your attention. Suddenly, one vendor offers you a choice. Would you prefer red apples or green? You feel empowered, as if that small selection changes your world. Little do you know, the black and white apple choice masks a fascinating psychological trick, the illusion of choice. We crave agency. We want to believe our decisions shape our lives. However, in many situations, the options we encounter are merely simulated. They guide us down paths predetermined by others. This tactic isn't confined to markets, it sneaks into our workplaces, politics, and even personal relationships. By offering limited choices, we often feel entirely in control while actually being directed towards an outcome. Next time you're presented with choices, stop and consider who actually orchestrated this moment. 4. The reciprocity principle. Now visualize a scene at a local food bank. A volunteer hands over a warm meal to someone in need. The recipient's face lights up with gratitude. In that instant, an invisible bond forms, a sense of obligation. It feels powerful, right? This is the reciprocity principle in action. Humans are wired to give back when receiving. This psychological trick underlies countless interactions, from a simple favor to the more complex exchanges of generosity in relationships. When we are gifted kindness, we often feel compelled to return it, creating a cycle of goodwill. Think about how this has played out in your life, a compliment leading to a smile, a loan leading to gratitude, an act of kindness igniting a flare of warmth in your heart. It's this dance of giving and receiving that fortifies our connections. 5. The scarcity principle. Let's explore a moment at a packed concert. The lead singer, after belting out a heart-wrenching ballad, holds up a limited edition album. "Only a few left," they exclaim. Instantly, the audience surges forward, desire piqued by the thought of losing out. This is the scarcity principle at work, tugging on our innate fear of missing out. Psychologically, scarcity drives value. The rarer something is, the more we crave it, often leading us to act impulsively. Reflect on those moments when you felt rushed to make a decision, a fleeting opportunity, a unique experience. When faced with scarcity, our logical minds often yield to emotional impulses. This principle pervades consumer culture, influencing everything from limited time offers to exclusive memberships. 6. The Ben Franklin effect. Picture a scenario where your coworker, someone you don't particularly like, asks you for a favor. Maybe they need help on a project. You're hesitant, but you oblige. Surprisingly, over time, you start feeling friendlier toward them. How can this be? This phenomenon is known as the Ben Franklin effect, named after the esteemed founding father who believed that asking someone for a favor can actually foster affection. When we do a kind act for someone, our minds often rationalize that we must like them, thus encouraging positive feelings. It's a paradox. Helping someone can lead to a deeper connection, even if the relationship started on shaky ground. The next time someone asks for your assistance, remember this effect. You might just find yourself developing an unexpected fondness for them. 7. The halo effect. Visualize walking into a cafe and noticing the barista, let's call her Emily. She has an approachable demeanor, her laughter infectious as she interacts with customers. Instantly, you find yourself thinking the coffee she makes must also be exceptional. This thought process exemplifies the halo effect, where our overall impression of a person influences our judgments about their specific traits. The halo effect weaves seamlessly through our daily interactions, coloring our perceptions of others based on initial impressions. This isn't just relevant in casual encounters, it shapes hiring decisions, personal relationships, and more. If someone presents themselves confidently or appears attractive, we may unconsciously assign them other positive qualities. Consider the implications of this. The next time you notice someone, how might your initial impression influence your entire assessment of them? 8. Mirroring behavior. Picture yourself in a conversation with someone, perhaps a new friend. You catch yourself crossing your arms while they do the same, or leaning forward as they do. It feels natural, almost instinctive. Welcome to the world of mirroring, a subtle psychological trick that fosters rapport and connection. Mirroring occurs when we subconsciously imitate the behavior of those we interact with, creating a sense of familiarity and understanding. This technique isn't merely about mimicking, it builds trust and encourages engagement. In social settings, when we align our body language, tone, or even speech patterns with someone else, we pave the way for deeper connections. Reflect on your own interactions. How often do you notice mirroring taking place? The next time you engage in conversation, be mindful of this subtle dance. It could transform your connections. 9. The Pygmalion effect. Imagine a teacher standing before a classroom of students, enthusiasm radiating from her presence. I know you all can excel, she proclaims, her eyes shining with belief. Gradually, her students begin to rise to expectations they didn't even know existed. This is the Pygmalion effect, where higher expectations lead to increased performance. Whenever someone believes in our potential, be it a teacher, a partner, or a friend, we tend to rise to those expectations. It's a mutual affirmation of capability, a gentle nudge that can ignite a spark of confidence within us. Conversely, believing someone is incapable can result in a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. When you offer encouragement and set high expectations, you may be surprised at the flourishing responses you can elicit. 10. The power of because. Now, envision being in a long line, growing impatient as people trickle through a single window. A person jumps ahead and asks a seemingly trivial request, saying, "Can I go next? I have to make a call." Surprisingly, the request is met with nods and compliance from the crowd. This psychological trick relies on the effortless power of the word because. When articulating a request, adding a reason, no matter how seemingly insignificant, significantly increases compliance. The human brain craves justification and explanation, and when we receive it, we are more willing to acquiesce. Think about times you've made requests. How often did you use because? Consider this tool as a way to frame your requests. A simple reason can unlock doors you may have assumed were closed. As we unravel these psychological tricks, it becomes evident that the fabric of human connection is fine-tuned through our behaviors and beliefs. Each trick reveals profound truths about our nature, the craving for connection, affirmation, and understanding. Remember, these strategies are not merely techniques to wield, they are reflections of our human experience. By recognizing their resonance in our interactions, we can cultivate relationships filled with kindness, compassion, and mutual growth. Life's intricate interplay among individuals offers endless opportunities for meaningful engagement, guiding us toward deeper connections in our shared journey. It's a reminder that our choices shape not only our destinies but also the destinies of those around us. Embrace these insights, and let them enhance your understanding of the world and of one another. Approach each interaction with empathy and awareness. Rather than viewing these as mere strategies to use, consider them keys that unlock a richer understanding of your own psyche and those around you. In the end, it's not just about employing psychological tricks, it's about engaging in the intricate dance of human connection. After all, we are all, at our core, seeking to be understood and valued in this beautiful chaos of life. Thanks for looking.